Um, there's a really strange point in every film where it stops belonging to only the people who made it. This film has lived in the script, it's lived in late night phone calls, stressy phone calls, it's lived in one too many WhatsApp groups, in fact 12 too many WhatsApp groups. And a lot of trust, in Lou's vision. Firstly, Lou, as well, just thank you for letting all of us be a part of this, and for giving us the chance to be a part of your vision. It's been hairy, and it's been scary, but it's also been absolutely fucking incredible, so thank you. Yeah, give Lou a round of applause. Folks, after you have had all those long late nights, we arrive at a night like tonight, and it finally exists outside of all of those rooms and all of those WhatsApp groups with an audience. And that shift, to me, always feels really special. I feel that you make a film 4 times. You write it, you produce it, you edit it, and then you give it to people here, where you take the story off the screen and you take it home with you. So, thank you for being here and for sharing it this evening with us. It's really sick to see it so full. Yeah.
Hi, I just need to unlock my phone, if you'll just bear with me. By the way, hi, I'm Roxanne, this is Ben, we're the producers. Yeah, I'm just gonna say what Ben said, that is, we're just unbelievably excited to share the film with you. It not only means a lot to see so many of you, but to see each and every one of you individually as well, because you were also instrumental in getting us here today. Some of the generous donors who made it possible. We've got our skilled crew members. We've got supportive friends who cheered us on when the WhatsApp groups became too much. We've got future collaborators who inspired us, people we want to work with, people we want to work for. We're very employable, and we're just very, very moved by your presence here. I think it's safe to say that when we started working on the Intimacy Coordinator, we wanted first and foremost to support Lou, to support the vision, to create an impactful, entertaining, and it's quite daring story. What we didn't expect so much is that it would add so much to our lives, and I'm talking about new friendships, I'm talking about just a torrential outpouring of kindness from all of you, and just a renewed love for independent filmmaking. So yeah, it's not to say it was easy, but it was absolutely worth it. Every single obstacle got us here, and that's all that matters. So thank you for your help. Thank you for coming. And please enjoy the show and tell everybody on Letterboxd. Thanks, guys.
This response is incredible. I've been quite nervous about showing this film for obvious reasons. Quite different to Sister Wives, wasn't it? Showing the other side of myself as a filmmaker. That side is a total pervert, apparently. So appreciate the response. I have so many people to thank for making this project a reality, and I try not to talk off my phone, so I'm going to try and rattle some names off for you. And if I forget anyone, I'm so sorry. I love you all. There's no bond quite like the trauma bond between a director and her producers. I can't see a bloody thing. Ben and Roxanne, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming on this ride with me. I know that I move at like 1,000 miles an hour, and I wouldn't have wanted to be on this journey with anyone else. Thank you for making me a reality. They really are the most amazing producers, guys. Hire them. I want to thank the crew from the shoot that made this happen. We worked with an amazing DOP called Laura Bellingham, who can't be here tonight because she's shooting, an amazing production designer, Harrison, a costume designer, Kaylee, hair and makeup designer, Hannah, an intimacy coordinator. There is thankfully nothing like Kate. She made us all feel very safe. She's had a really kind of intense, crazy year, and you turned up on this project with so much positivity and fun, and everyone just loved you, and I love you, and you mean the world to me. You know that. I want to thank the post-production team. Leslie, our amazing editor. Are you here, Leslie? Is that? I think this is one of my favourite edits of every film that I've ever done. Like the montage, I just think it's so cool. I loved working with you. You're so patient and kind and fun, and I just want you to be like my best friend. My composer, James, I love this soundtrack. He makes all of my soundtracks. He's also my fiance, so he's had to live with me for the last few weeks, which has been quite intense in its own right, so thank you, my love. We worked with an amazing colourist, Carol, who also made my last film, Sister Wives, as well. I love the way, wherever you are, Carol, I love the way that you talk about colour. You talk about colour so romantically, so eloquently. I never really understand what you're talking about. God, you make it sound so delicious. Amazing sound designers, Rachel and Tom, up the gunners. I absolutely love the sound design of this, and I loved working with you. And Tom supports Arsenal, which just makes it all so much better. Will we do it? I don't know. I'm making me more stressed. Yeah, that didn't help to the stress of the last few weeks. Harbour Picture Company sponsored this. Sarah and Savannah at Harbour, thank you so much for your support. Your support of me, your support of short filmmakers is incredible, because we can only move on to the next phase of our careers with support like you guys have given us. It means so much to me, and I will not forget it as I move through my career. We had lots of wonderful sponsorship actually, MBSE Lighting, Focus Canning, Digital Orchard, Grey Moth lent us a bunch of kit, because we had to use our kit to make the film, but then we also needed some kit to make it look like a film set, so they kind of propped us up. The supporting artists, I feel like supporting artists, they never get much credit, but there's loads of you in the audience tonight. You guys are just as important as building the world as the rest of us, and we had a lot of essays on this, and they were so wonderful. And just shout out to supporting artists, because it's a pretty thankless job. I want to thank my cast, Kieran, Sophie, Alex, Darcy, Toby, Mitchell, David, all of you. I always cast my friends and make them do really weird things. See you soon. And so thank you for being my friend, being up for doing weird stuff, and you guys are amazing. I'm so blown away by this cast. Who else? I think that's kind of everybody. Again, if I've forgotten. Oh, Izzy, our first AD. Izzy. God, being the first AD is so hard, and she's just such a vibe. I love her so much. Harbour, MBS, DOP, I think that's kind of everybody. Huh? Focus Canning, who gave us our kit. Oh, all of our EPs and our APs. We've got, they friggin' funded it. Leo, Sarah, Barry, Nick, my dad. My family, I'm so sorry about we're working out in therapy, honestly. They're just like, Lou, please make a rom-com. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me. Okay, enough. We're gonna do a Q&A now. We are so lucky to have Lauren Nile here to host this Q&A, who is a legend. I'm a huge fan of Lauren, so I'm absolutely thrilled that she's doing it. So I want to welcome Lauren to the stage, and Kieran, Sophie, and
Nile. I'm an actor as well. I'm also a director, producer, and for my sins, I host my own podcast called She's a Wreck, which I think is why I'm here hosting this. But I love the film. My favourite shot, I think, was the opening when you start to get off on the two of you doing your thing and the music pumps into motion. It's very exciting and fun. What do you think Louisa, intimacy coordinators, will think of this film?
That is a good question. I think on paper they probably will be a little bit worried about it, but I hope that when they see it, they will kind of understand that it's not, to me, it's not really a film about intimacy coordinating. It's a film about abuse of power. It's a film about addiction, and Kate's role could have been told through a multitude of roles on a film set. She could have been a costume designer, she could have been a hair and makeup designer, she could have been the director, but I chose the role on a film set that kind of is with the actors when they're at their most vulnerable and who has that access to their flesh. Yeah, it's not really about intimacy coordinating. So I hope we do get some ICs watching it.
Is there anyone in the audience that is an intimacy coordinator?
I mean, well, yeah, our IC is.
We're assuming you're playing about it. Yeah.
I hate.
Yeah, because it's quite a new. It's sort of in its infancy, that role. But I suppose for we're a room of industry here that everyone kind of knows that that's the thing now. But for normies that aren't in the film industry, what do you think they'll take from it? What will they think?
Well, again, I feel like this kind of weird dynamic, it can happen in so many different industries and companies and buildings and businesses. There are people abusing their power all the time. So I hope that, well, I don't hope that they can recognise it. I hope that nobody's had this experience, but I think that it's a story that could have been told in lots of environments, and hopefully people can laugh at the funny bits. And also, just disclaimer, I love intimacy coordinators. I ask for them as an actress. I implement them as a director-producer. So yeah, I hope there's something for everybody to take from this.
Alex, on the My Sex Addicted Friend. Is your mic on? Yeah?
No.
Push the button up, slide it, oh.
Hello.
Yeah? Can we hear Alex?
Nice. Hey.
Yeah. Alex, your scenes of Nigel, they sort of strike a lovely tone of comedy, but also severity. It is a severe, real thing he's going through. You did a bit of research, we're mates, and you told me you've done a wee bit of research into that, not in that way, thanks very much. But what was that, Alex?
Well, I attended a SLAA meeting. I went to I sort of tried to email slaa.org and just try to find the right person to speak to see if I could attend an open meeting. Eventually, after the sort of bureaucracy of it, I managed to be able to speak to someone. They let me attend an open meeting. But yeah, I went to one, and it's kind of weird, sort of meta, because I actually sort of knew someone there. So yeah, went into the room and
Do you think it helped you sort of strike quite a realistic tone then of what was actually happening in the film?
Yeah, sort of comedy was being produced in that room. Well, but so I said, I immediately went over to them, long story short, I'm doing a little project, I'm trying to sort of say, if you want me to go, because I know it's your space, I just think, oh no, it's fine, just stay here, it's fine, whatever you're weird acting and shit, it's fine. But I will say, yeah, I mean, obviously, in the actual session, there's obviously moments that are quite, sometimes harrowing to listen to, and, there's a lot of, things are really, people are really revealing themselves, and that's, quite amazing to kind of see. But also there was funny things in the group. It was such a nice space to be in, and being vulnerable in that space and being to share things. I don't know, it really helped me anyway. I just wanted to know what it was like. I mean, I'm sort of feeling it now actually. In front of loads of people and getting things off my chest. That was what I wanted to try and uncover with research, but I think maybe I didn't need to research it. Yeah. But yeah.
It was helpful then. At the end of the day, it was helpful. In life and in work. Kieran, we don't often see male vulnerability with this sort of thing. It's often sort of men in the position of power. What felt important to you about sort of portraying this side of it?
When Louisa said to me, I just found like fleeting through my existence in many ways. You know, there's a chivalry that a lot of young men put on in the effort to be nice and kind and probably not open their mouths enough. And I just thought that was a really it was something new that I hadn't seen before. And I felt like I had an opinion on it. I felt very lucky that Louisa thought of me to step into Max's shoes and do this with her. But I think all sort of struggle, vulnerabilities, anything we experience is quite universal. You know, I think there is some extremes that are gender specific and any other things. But I think with an issue like this, we can see from sort of different gazes every now and again, and this was just important.
Have you sort of imagine what it would be like if you were on a set, if this was you, and you worked with intimacy coordinators before as well?
I have worked with intimacy coordinators. I think all been amazing. I'm better than you, Darren. But no, I've never had any sort of bad experience on set. I've been very lucky. I guess I have a bravado as well from where I come from. But you know, going through my existence early on, there's definitely been experiences that we talked about, which are definitely like, I think if I said that in a room, people like, that's odd, and you go, oh, that was just so normal to me, which is this thing. I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, Louisa's obviously put her comic skill in it and supremely talented. I've just seen this for the first time right now, so I'm a bit like, what is happening?
The comedy side of it is great though as well. Did you expect the response that you got?
I was really pleasantly surprised at the amount of laughter. I think you need that. It was so funny. It was that the laughter started to like drift off, and then the last scene happens, and you just sort of hear the silence. I'm thinking you're laughing now. It was nice.
And Sophie, can you tell us a bit about what it was like? I mean, having an intimacy coordinator on a film about that. How did you guys develop trust and work on it on set for this?
Yeah, I mean, we were so lucky to have Rosie, who is like truly amazing, and you handled it so beautifully. We had a meeting separately before, so we could speak very honestly and openly about how we wanted the experience to be, and then we came together and Miki had a rehearsal. So I mean, we felt so safe, and then we were very instrumental in making sure we had a clear set, especially because one of the scenes was just sound. So that was an experience on our first day. But I mean, it's just
we had to like the shot where we're going into Kate's face and you can hear them. We just had
the
to
first one. The second one isn't us.
Wild track. They were just sort of sitting there and having to wild track it for like. Did I make you pass something else? You shut your mouth, Kieran.
Kieran nearly passed out, and we were also facing opposite walls because we couldn't make eye contact. It was too
Is this all part of your process, Rosie?
Yeah.
Is this how it works? Maybe you guys can speak on that then, because you all sort of know Louisa from jobs, is that right? You've all worked together on something. What was it like working with her in a more directorial, but also actor, but also writer perspective?
I mean, watching, like, part of the reason I took this job as well as loving the script was I really wanted to see Lou, like how you direct and act as a lead, and watching Louisa was incredible. She'd be doing the amazing acting she's doing on the screen, crying her eyes out, and then be like, okay, can we just get two more reads in and two more, and we were just like, oh, what? It really was amazing. Yeah.
Alex, you said your first day on set was that big first scene there. The first sex scene?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
First shot of the whole film. It was like day one, scene one.
Yeah, it was, yes. I forgot. Yeah, I mean, just to sort of echo.
Your fiance's in the audience, isn't she?
She is, yeah.
She is, yeah.
Sorry, Rachel.
Yeah, it was the first day. it was. I mean, just to echo what you said, really. I mean, it was you were doing everything. I don't know how you can, let alone sort of direct and act in the same thing as well as sort of do all the other bits and pieces. It's kind of incredible, really, amazingly. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing else more I can say. Yeah, change the lens and all this stuff. Like, what? How were you doing it? Crazy.
I can't even watch myself tapes back, so like. It reminds you of a little bit of a lot of passion and a lot of just sort of love that you can really get anything done. It was very encouraging to me to work with you on this. And since you built this from the ground, you're running this whole thing and you're doing your own acting. I feel very lucky to watch you do this. And I'm watching that right now. You're super talented, my friend.
Thank you. What has the journey of the film been? How long did it take you to make it?
I'm trying to think when I first DM'd Ben. I think like a year and a half, maybe a bit. Yeah, Ben has no idea either. At least a year, maybe a year and a half.
And you just wrote the script.
Yeah.
And kicked it off.
Yeah, I was seeing like a lot of stuff in the press about intimacy coordinators, and I thought, oh, that's quite interesting. That seems to be a topic that everyone's like excited about talking about. And by that point, I'd already made 5 shorts. So the intimacy coordinator is my 6th. I've got another one in post and another one in pre-production. But after I made after I made Sister Wives, I was like, I think that'll be it for me with shorts, because I'd made 5 by that point. But I got to a point like around the middle of last year where I hadn't made anything since Sister Wives. I hadn't like been on a set and directed in like a year and a half, and I was like, this doesn't feel good. And so when I had the idea of the intimacy coordinator, I was like, why am I not just still making short films? Like, there's nothing wrong with short form media. It's fantastic, and we should all be proud of doing it.
Do you hope to have it go to something bigger?
Yeah, I'd love to do more of this with these guys. As I said that didn't feel very good when I said that.
So unimportant.
Well, we're having to kind of probably wrap up because I think time.
Yeah, what's the time?
We're okay. We've got
10 minutes. Okay, alright, cool.
I know you said you didn't want to do it, but I think we should do it. I'm going to throw it at you. Does anyone in the audience have any questions that they're interested in? Yeah, I feel like there would be. Did someone say yeah, just there? Yeah. Who wants it? Producer running it.
Please be careful, Rox.
Amazing film. I hope you're all super proud of it. I just wanted to ask, obviously there's a lot of, strong, difficult themes in general, but what was the hardest part about it? What was the most challenging part, whether that's like in filming or in rehearsals or post?
I actually think making the film set feel like a film set, as in like the film set within the film set was quite kind of hard to navigate, making sure there's enough bodies, enough noise, enough movement, enough film setty props. I often think that the things that you think will be hardest, like the sex scenes and the emotional scenes and the can often be the things that you have so much adrenaline that you can kind of get through it. The final scene of me mashing him like a potato with a brick, we got that in one shot because we'd completely run out of time. So that was quite tricky.
A question for Louisa. So obviously you're wearing a lot of hats with your projects. You're producing and directing and acting, and and also with this there's like a meta level of you're also an intimacy coordinator, so you're kind of acting.
It wasn't really one, no. We know.
So I'm wondering how you navigate splitting yourself between those roles within your roles.
Well, when it comes to the shoot itself, I always take the producing hat off for the shoot. So I always say at the beginning of the shoot, like, don't come to me with any producer questions. I'm just focusing on like the writing and the acting. And then if I'm going to get technical about it, I always make sure that I've got a mini monitor on my kit list that is basically very close to me at all times. So I can stand on my mark and frame up with my DOP. Like, so I'm on my mark, I'm hair, makeup, costume done, but I've got a little monitor, so I'm lighting it with my cinematographer like that, and then usually like just before we start rolling, somebody will come and take my mini monitor away. First, I let first AD call action. We do the scene. I usually get a sense if I've done a good job, because I think sometimes as an actor you can kind of feel it if you've done well, and then I can usually see if they're doing well as well, the actors in the scene. And then I'll call cut, and then I'll ask for the monitor will be brought back to me. Everybody has to stay like quiet and still until I've rewatched playback, because obviously I haven't watched it in real time. So it's a bit more time consuming, but I'll watch playback, and then if we're happy, we'll move on. But also, there have been many moments where I run out of time, and then you're getting towards the end of the day, and it's either you watch playback or you lose a shot. I'm always going to choose to keep my shot, so I trust my tribe around me. I trust my DOP, I trust my actors. I've usually got a producer by the monitor, and if they say to me, Lou, that was great, you've got enough in the can, don't watch playback, get your next shot, I'll trust my team. And then we wrap, and the producer hat goes back on, and it all becomes very stressful again.
Yeah.
One more if anybody wants it.
Do one more.
I'm going to do the front. It feels like I've done every section.
Sorry, I've really thrown this on you. My job's very easy.
Hi, first of all, fantastic job everyone, it was really incredible. Louisa, you were saying how you were hearing about intimacy coordinators a lot in the news at the time when you thought about making a short film about it. Has there been any other news recently or in the past that you've been like, oh, I need to make a film on that?
Yeah, so I made my first film, The Call Centre, in 2019, when everybody was obsessed with GDPR. Do you remember we suddenly all got 100 GDPR emails? So I wrote one about a girl that steals a man's data and turns up at his house and kills him. There's a theme happening here. And then in 2023, everybody seemed to be obsessed with Mormons. There was Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. There's a reality show called Sister Wives, and I was like, there's something here. People seem to be into this right now. And then, yeah, for the last couple of years, I've noticed there seems to be a real interest around intimacy coordinators. So I probably do like lean into what people are talking about and what's challenging people and exciting people. So yeah, there probably is some truth to that, yeah.
Last question for the crowd. Actually, I did want to ask Alex just one more question, so we didn't hear from you about, do you see Nigel as one of Kate's victims, or because he's sort of quite passive, isn't he, and then he does find his voice in the end. Kieran's character sort of does quite clearly become a victim. Sophie, so do you think like victims or not so much?
I think no. I mean, I don't think of him as I don't play him as a victim. I think he's got his own point of view of the world, and I guess his struggle isn't maybe just Kate. It's like this addiction that he's trying to overcome. I think it's like an attachment sort of thing. I mean, it's a tricky one. I think I think maybe he is a little bit of a victim in this situation because, you know, Louisa's character Kate is quite relentless, obviously, but you know.
It's kind of the same for your character, Sophie, because in that situation, you sort of, everyone could look at your character and say, like, why didn't you say something? But it's so difficult,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, there's definitely like, he's got sort of I don't want to say weaknesses, but he's got sort of things that are obviously maybe, I guess being taken advantage of. But I think it's great because he sort of overcomes that in the end, and that's great. So there's a bit of an arc there, I suppose, for the character, and he doesn't become victim, becomes more of a whistleblower.
Sophie?
Sorry?
Go on.
Oh, sort of the same thing around how you would how it is to play someone that can't say anything, how awkward it is to have to deal with something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was what I found interesting in the role was I would hope, and I'm almost sure I would say something, but it really, when you're on a film set, things move so fast and everyone thinks that every second is so important that by standing up for yourself as an actor, you get labeled very difficult or all these things, and that's why having an intimacy coordinator in real life is so important, to be able to stay vulnerable in vulnerable moments safely. And actually, Alex did say this before, he was like, Ella's POV is kind of the audience's, where you're kind of like, well, she's leaning in, but ultimately, if you're on a set, you're trusting that everyone who's been hired is qualified and not a murderer. A creepy intimacy coordinator. So okay, easy to she's qualified, she's not. But yeah, so I think that it was interesting playing that sort of how would I navigate the situation myself? But before intimacy coordinators, if I've had an experience like that, it's been like Lou said, it's not job specific. Like, you presume that producers are looking after you when actually sometimes maybe they don't have your best intentions, and how to navigate that and the sort of complex dynamics of a film set being like a family and how that can be actually quite toxic.
Yeah, so true, so true. Okay, well finally, where can we see you all next? What has anyone got coming up? I've to ask where we see you now.
I am making the feature version of. I'm making the feature version of Sister
I have a movie premiering in New York next week. If you like the provocative side of that, mine's a bit probably even worse, to be honest. But I'm deeply proud of it, and it probably will come to England hopefully in the summer. It's called Blue Film. And then I have a movie later on in the end of the year as well. Thank you to my agent. Working hard, baby.
I'm currently directing a stop motion animation called Bay. That will be shot over summer and hopefully seen in the autumn. Also produced by Ben.
I've got a film out at the moment called Fuse, which is by Ben McKenzie. Yeah, it's good fun. It's a sort of a military heist thriller set in London, and yes, about an unexploded Second World War II bomb, and I play a corporal in the sort of bomb disposal unit. So something a bit different to this.
Range, right there. You can follow at the Intimacy Coordinator Film on Instagram, and please leave a review on Letterboxd. And see you in the bar. Thanks so much.